When you're starting a business, many service providers focus on things that feel productive but don't really get clients. They don't actually get you clients. These things include some internal blocks you might be having, like overthinking your offer, waiting to feel ready, feel in quotes, or fearing rejection. And those are the internal things. But also externally, you might be perfecting your website, designing a logo, tweaking your Instagram bio for the 100th time, or creating content without really a clear sales strategy behind it. But those are not the only things. You might also be feeling like something feels pushy, it feels salesy. Good work should sell itself. It doesn't really sell itself, you have to sell it. All of these things have you prioritizing work that keeps you busy, right, but isn't moving the needle for your business. And I like to call the work that keeps you busy work, right? So there's busy work and there's results work that actually gets you clients. So today we're going to look at what are some 7 things that you are likely doing that aren't getting you clients, and 7 others that you should be doing that would actually move the needle for your business, that would get you clients. Money-making priorities is what I like to call them instead of my one-on-one coaching. And speaking of, my name is Fopsy. I'm a business coach. Friends call me Fopsy, so you can say Fopsy. And I help service providers. Most people have 4-figure offers or want to have 4-figure offers. I help them sell more of their packages and help them get more clients. Most of the time, people already have clients in their world or with close access, but you're not just doing anything to get them. So this conversation today will help you see some of the ways you might not be prioritizing results work and you might have been doing busy work, and will also help you learn what you can actually do starting today, as well as at the end I will share how you can work with me inside of my one-on-one coaching. 7 things you're likely doing. The first thing is playing business instead of being in business. What does this mean? Playing business means you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing when you have a business, right? You're spending weeks tweaking your logo or on website design. You're editing your website again, sometimes deep into the night. And I know these things well because I also made these mistakes, and it's kind of my learning that made me decide, yeah, this is a way to waste time and to drain money sometimes, or even lose time that you could have been spending making money. And it's kind of what made me so passionate about helping service providers do the same thing. I had one client that they felt like they had to be perfecting their systems. Everything has to be right before, and they didn't even have clients to use them. That's the thing. You're creating systems and you don't have clients in your pipeline who are going to walk through those systems. In the beginning, it's okay to be a little bit messy. Just go out and get the clients. So when you're playing business instead of being a proper business, you could be spending time tweaking your logo on website design. You could be printing business cards and creating branding materials that there's nobody there to see yet. You could be perfecting your systems before you even have clients to use them. Spending money on these tools and systems, by the way. So it's not like you're getting them for free. Even if you're getting them for free, your time is being invested in them, and that is time that you should be spending getting clients, because you need cash in your business. Cash flow is the lifeblood of a business. If it runs out, the business is out. So that's the first thing you're probably doing that isn't getting you clients. If you're in one of these shoes, mark yourself on it as something to work on. Second thing you're probably doing is pursuing perfection instead of progress. This one is huge. We are huge fans of learning. Procrastinating is how I think about it. You are researching, listening to podcasts, doing everything other than implementing what you are learning. It's not helping you get clients. When you are pursuing perfection instead of progress, you're likely waiting until everything is just right. I had this one client that they wanted actually a set of co-founders. They wanted to have matching logos, shirts that had matching logos before they would do their launch. I'm like, does that help you? You're helping people pass their exams. You want to wait weeks until this comes before you go out there into the world. Let's order it and let it be coming. And in the meantime, go out and sell. When they arrive, maybe by the time they're onboarding them, you will have your shirts. But like, really, what does the shirt have to do with it? But sometimes our brain just likes to do what is comfortable, and we pick this busy work just to feel like we're making progress. But really, nothing is happening if you think about it practically. And I already feel like I'm going to have to stick to my script more. So let's keep going. How to know that you are somebody who is currently pursuing perfection instead of progress? You're likely waiting until everything is just right before launching. You're consuming endless courses and books and podcasts and even sonnets without implementing them, right? You need to implement. You need to plan for your implementation and then implement. Don't just consume. You feel like you're making progress, but you're not until you take it and act on it. I think of learning, and my philosophy on this is just-in-time learning. It's a philosophy from manufacturing and it's how like they became more lean in their process, became more efficient. Instead of having everything before you start, you iterate, you learn from your iteration, and then you go again. So I like you to take a step, go out and test it with real clients, talk to real people. When you work with them, you will learn a little bit, then you will improve on it. That's how I want you to learn. It's a mindset I want you to adopt starting from today. You are probably revisiting and revising your offerings repeatedly without testing them in the market. This is an example of you pursuing perfection instead of progress. So I need you to take what you have and take it out to the market, okay? Take it out to the market and sell. Go meet more people and make more offers. That's another philosophy I have. Meet more people, make more offers. Okay, the third thing you're doing is broadcasting instead of connecting. What does this mean? You are posting generic content across multiple platforms. You're focused on increasing your follower counts instead of meaningful engagement. You're talking about yourself instead of your client problems. That last bit is actually the most important. You will connect with more people if you focus on the problems they have. How can you find the problems your clients have? There are Facebook groups of all kinds of people that are looking to have their websites built, people that are looking to sell more of their e-commerce products, people that are looking to improve their accounting. There are groups, Facebook groups. Facebook is not dead. There are Reddit groups where people are online talking about their problems. Go listen. The people are on Twitter, on Threads, talking about their problems. Listen and learn their problems. If you say you're offering free 15 minutes consultation for people that want to get their accounting right, for example, you could learn more from that call, get real client quotes that you can use in your content that reflects what people are actually looking for, right? And so instead of just broadcasting what you think people want, go learn from real people, take their words and write about it. Like, solve those problems in public. Those are better ways to connect to people and they will actually get you clients. So you find the problems, you solve it, then you give a call to action. This is what I want you to do to hire me as your accountant. Book a call with me, book a free consultation with me at XYZ. And then maybe you can even run an ad to that. Or you can, send that to the person that you spoke to say, hey, these are the notes you inspired this post. Here are some more details I thought about after our conversation, and you will build somebody who is interested in working with you in that way. Okay, so I just kind of modeled what you should do, what you're doing and what you should do there, but I will actually go through what you're doing and then eventually go through another list of what you should be doing. Okay, the fourth thing you're doing is generalizing instead of specializing. Most of us start out with this scarcity mentality that if we specialize, there won't be enough people to work with us. But it's actually not the truth. When you are generalizing, you are likely offering everything to everyone. You are afraid to commit to a niche for fear of missing opportunities. You're diluting your expertise across too many service offerings. I had one client who was a social media manager that instead of having a core, maybe $1,000, $2,000 social media management service, or even $700, she had like 6 different services: website, social media audit, day of content creation, just small things between $50, $300. And she had never thought about how much do I need to make a livable income? What do I actually need to make in a month? Because her big thing was, her job wasn't giving her creativity and she really wanted to express her creativity and have a job where she didn't have to be asking for days off work. And I hear you, most of us start businesses for that freedom and flexibility. So I was like, I actually need us to create an offer that's a money-making offer. It's actually worth its weight in gold. It has thought about all the problems your clients have and it packages it into an offer that you sell 1 to 3, maybe 5 a month and you're good. You're good. You don't need to chase 40 clients, which is what you would have to do if you're selling these small services, right? It's when you specialize, you're able to also offer deeper services and command higher prices. And specializing doesn't mean that you don't get to be a multi-hyphenate. I'm a person who has multiple passions as well, but business coaching actually allows me to explore many of those passions inside of the coaching container. But on the front end, I talk about prioritizing money-making activities, on helping you improve your marketing and sales, because that is what I know people care about. Inside, we're going to probably do more on mindset, on executive presence, during sales calls, all of that we will do. But on the front end, I know people want to get more clients. So that's what I talk about in the marketing. In my one-on-one coaching, I will help you sign at least 5 new high-ticket clients in 12 weeks. That is literally how I position it, because I know that people have that at the top of their mind. So when you generalize, you are trying to offer something to everyone, mostly because you're afraid that there isn't enough of the kind of people you want out there, but they actually are. Right? And generalizing often would dilute your expertise because it's like, I don't know what to call her for, essentially. So the fifth thing you're probably doing is pricing for popularity instead of profitability. Okay? You're setting rates based on your fears instead of the value that you're offering. You are undercharging to avoid rejection. People will reject you at $90, at $9 as well. It's not just about price. Rejection comes at all levels. It's just that one of them will have you profitable and one of them will have you kind of frustrated, honestly. You might also be failing to communicate the true worth of your transformation. Oftentimes, we will sell like the tools, the budget, instead of like the destination that people want, which is like being able to pay off their debt, being able to increase their pays that they have to themselves, or being able to have a fully booked calendar, like the real thing that people want. Why are they paying you? One of my clients recently, they're mentors, right? Mentors for people that want to pass a pharmacy exam, and they were talking about it as a mentorship program. And I said, guys, you're not a mentorship program. You are a coaching program that helps people pass their PEBC, which is the pharmacy exam, on the first try. And it's not even people. They help internationally trained pharmacists pass their exam on the first try. And that's something we came up with together in our coaching to say, guys, if you sell mentorship, then it's more like it's a diluted offer. And what does that even mean? Maybe the mentorship is the means to an end, but people ultimately come to you because they want to pass this exam on the first try, because you've done it already and they want to be able to do it. And so when you think about your pricing, it's often a function of how you communicate your offer and how well you've sold yourself on your offer as well. These are all things that we don't have enough time to talk about, but when you price, think about the value that you offer and not just the units of how much time or the way to get there. Ideally, I want you to get to a 4-figure offer, especially if you're a service provider, a consultant, or a coach, and stick with it. I want you to have a 4-figure offer because you'll be profitable at that level and you'll be able to grow your business into an actual business, not just another job. The sixth thing you're probably doing is collecting contacts instead of building relationships. When you're networking, you're probably doing it broadly without following up meaningfully. It's important to follow up, and I'll tell you a client story about that. You are probably making one-time connections without nurturing them. It's not enough to collect a business card. You gotta do something with it. You're treating relationships as transactions. And the reason why this is important is that oftentimes the money is in the follow-up. One of my clients, Lashal, she was meeting a lot of people in networking calls, but the sale that she was getting was by following up with them. Not the clients weren't them, it was their own contact. She would meet people at an event, and then because networking events tend to be busy and rowdy, she would also reach out via email to connect again and set up a quick chat. During that chat, it was just them getting to know each other and sharing what they did in their businesses. And oftentimes, the person she was talking to would then say, oh, I know somebody who actually needs your Facebook ads services. I know somebody who needs your operations management services. And that was how she was getting clients, by following up. And so you really have to think beyond just networking. Yes, you need to meet people, but you also need to go deeper to see how can I help you. And sometimes it's not the person you're talking to you can help, it's who they know, right? So sometimes you need who they know. All right. The seventh thing, we've gotten to the end of what you're doing, and then we're going to start what you should be doing instead, is planning instead of executing. You are constantly making these elaborate strategies without testing them, without putting them into the market. You spend more time, maybe more nights, tweaking your plan, what you will do, which ads you will do, which program you create. You're constantly reorganizing your approach instead of sticking to one. You are mistaking busyness for productivity. It doesn't matter how perfect your plan is, it matters what you execute. How will you execute? How well will you execute? How consistently would you execute? How often will you sit down to measure the impact of your execution? Okay, this is what I did this week. Did it work? Did it not work? That's really where the money is. Don't just plan, execute, and then iterate on your execution. We've talked about those 7 things you're doing, which I will list real quickly again so that if you miss anyone, you can catch it now. You're playing business instead of being in business. You're pursuing perfection instead of progress. You're broadcasting instead of connecting. Generalizing instead of specializing. Pricing for popularity instead of profitability. You're collecting contacts instead of building relationships, and you are planning instead of executing. Those are the 7 things you're probably doing when you start a business that are not getting you clients. On the flip side, you should be doing this instead if you want to get clients. You ready? Focus on revenue generating activities first. What does that mean? Prioritize direct outreach over perfecting your brand, like talking to real people. Direct outreach is not just sales, it's not just cold emailing, which it has its rep. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work as well. Direct outreach is talking to real people. It's reaching out to people that you can partner with to speak at their events, like I'm doing right now. It could be delivering a workshop in your local chamber of commerce. It could be going to network events where you actually have client-facing time. Think of direct outreach as client-facing time, where you can meet with people that are your ideal clients and talk to them, connect with them. Prioritize maybe even lives with your network. If you already have a large network that you're sitting down on in LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram, go live, pick a topic that you know they care about and talk about it and interact with people in real time. Prioritize direct outreach over perfecting your brand. One of my clients, they often got invited to like this industry seminar things, and that was a form of direct outreach. You're not necessarily selling on those platforms, but you're getting in front of your people and making an invitation for them to come find you where you do your thing. That's a form of client direct outreach, you know. But so for some people, it's actually cold emails. For other people, it is publishing articles. For still others, let me give you a quick short list. For some people, it is a phone call to people that they know in their network so that people actually know what you do, because if they don't know, they can't help you. Some people, it is sending out that email to say, hey, everyone, I know this is what I do now. For other people, it is networking and referral building, looking for people who know your people and just connecting with them. For other people, it's public speaking, whether it's on YouTube, whether it is in a local chamber of commerce, it still gets you in front of people. For other people, it's writing and publicity, writing on LinkedIn, writing in your local newspaper about your topic, writing for a blog that, not your blog if nobody knows you, but a blog that has reach already, maybe like Forbes. I know Forbes is not a blog, but essentially like a blog in your niche that you can write for. Promotional events, maybe putting on your own webinar or events that you invite people to do, or advertising. All of those get you in front of people, and you see what they are. They're active. They're not waiting for people to come to you, right? You're going to people. Super duper important. Okay, so that is you focusing on revenue generating activities first. Make sure that you prioritize direct client outreach over perfecting your brand. Create the simplest version of your offering and start selling it. Don't wait. It doesn't need to be perfect. Spend 80% of your time on activities that directly lead to client conversations, especially if you're just getting started, especially if you don't have as many clients as you want to, right? Spend 80% of your time, the bulk of your time, on activities that directly lead to clients, not on the behind the scenes systems work, okay? That's number one, focusing on revenue generating activities. Number two is embrace good enough and iterate based on feedback. Make sure that you are comfortable, get comfortable with putting out your minimum viable service offering. This is the service, this is the problem it solves, this is how I will help you. Get it out there. Get real client feedback instead of assuming what they want. You don't really know what people want until you start serving people, right? Put that minimum viable product out there, start selling it, service oftentimes, and improve your offerings based on actual feedback that you're getting from people, what you're learning about your clients when you start working with them. Then you iterate based on that, right? That's the second thing. The third thing is to speak directly to specific pain points. It's very important for you to use your client's exact language in your marketing, not what you think they said, not what you assume they said. Use their words. Don't even edit it. If they say, my knee hurts like, I want to say hurts like balls, but that doesn't make sense. My knee hurts like hell. Say it like that. My knee hurts like, what to do when your knee hurts like hell. Put it like that, not when your knees hurts bad or something. When they say, I feel like I'm doing everything and nothing is working, don't tweak it. Don't try to like sanitize it. Use your ideal client's exact language in your marketing, because it makes them see themselves in service. It makes them see themselves in your offering and see that you really know them, you really get them. And if you can help it, address one core problem that your people desperately want solved, not everything that they want solved, right? So if you must create content, make sure that it makes your prospect feel deeply understood. Whether your content is the speech you're giving, whether it's the written blog, whether it's the video content on TikTok, make sure that it makes your people feel understood, like you get them. There's this person on TikTok that's always popping up on my feed and says, straighten your back or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I know you see me that I'm curved right now. And it makes me feel very seen. She's not selling anything, so I don't know that that's the perfect example, but hey, she just sees me. The fourth thing is become known for solving one problem extremely well. If you can help it, develop a signature approach to a specific client challenge. You might only have this as you work with multiple clients, but let this be your goal, that instead of offering a bazillion things, I want to be known for something. So start with one, build on it, and then this can also help you to prevent niche slapping and going from niche to niche. Stick with one thing for enough time for you to build case studies that demonstrate your specialized expertise, right? And then once you've done that, make sure that you're communicating it clearly and really focusing on the transformation that you help facilitate. Fifth thing is to price for the value of the transformation. Really calculate what solving the problem is truly worth to clients, right? What is the worth of getting 5 new high-ticket clients for you? That's what I charge based on. Charge based on outcomes, not hours or industry averages, really. You can choose the value-based approach, and if you're not familiar with it, look it up. Value-based pricing. Communicate your pricing with confidence and conviction. Honestly, it is not out of place for you to stand up in the morning and say, my price is 2,500 USD for 3 months of coaching. You get to work with me one-on-one for an hour every week, and that's it. And practice shutting up after. Don't add extra things. Practice your price in front of the mirror. Practice it before sales call. Don't go there and be shaking. Like, you've got this. Embody it and make sure that you also sell yourself on it. Be sure of the value you offer so that you're not doubting it, because it comes across and clients can smell it. Okay, the sixth thing is to create a systematic client nurturing process. Marketing is not a one-time event. It's a system, right? How are you going to get people into your world? If they don't buy immediately, how are you going to continue following up with them without being spammy? I believe that emailing marketing is a strong one that everybody should have from day one. Start emailing your ideal clients, your leads, your prospects at least once a week, but more. More is better because you have more touch points. And don't be afraid of unsubscribes. People will only unsubscribe if it's irrelevant to them. And if you're truly you're not providing value at all. So don't be afraid to reach out to your people. So really stay in touch with them and stay connected even when they don't buy, even when they're not ready to buy, because they might not buy, but they might refer someone, and that's just as valuable, maybe even more valuable, because somebody that is referred is a warmer lead than somebody that just finds you and doesn't know anybody. Okay. The seventh thing is implement one strategy fully before adding another. Don't jump from thing to thing. And this one is really hard because when you have access to so much information, so many books, so many podcasts, so many summits, so many everything courses, you have to execute consistently. I would say this is my recommendation to you. When you find one approach that you want to really go in on that plays to your strengths, very important. It needs to play to your strengths. You want to make sure that you execute it consistently for at least 90 days. That's a quarter. Give it 90 days before you hop to the next thing, because it's really easy to do it for 1 week and say it doesn't work and then move to the next thing. And then in 90 days, you could have tried like 10 different things and you haven't really given anything enough time to work, right? So give your approaches enough time to work and then measure the results before refining or moving on to the next thing. So you might be listening to all of this and thinking, okay, but how can you tell me to be embracing progress, not perfection? I really need to look professional before I launch. The truth is that clients care far more about whether you can solve their problem than how polished your brand looks. Very important. Many successful coaches started with nothing than a simple landing page and a clear message about the results that they deliver. Same for many service providers, same for many consultants. So you don't need to have all the bells and whistles. You do need to be clear about your offer in your head, to figure out what the transformation is and to say it. Have a way for people to find you, have a way for you to connect with people. So here it is. Leads, invite them to a sales call in your content, in your seminars, sell to them. Or maybe it's application instead of a sales call. So invite them to apply and then serve them, right? It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. And if you're thinking, I don't have time to really do all these things, I don't have time to get clients consistently, if you don't make time for these activities, eventually you will have nothing but time, right? Because you won't have clients, right? Even 30 minutes a day of focused outreach will get better results than sporadic efforts. So put it in your calendars. You're a business owner. If you don't mind your business, nobody will, okay? So prioritize this. You've heard a lot today, so I want you to choose just one of the recommended actions above and commit to implementing them consistently for the next 30 days. And then when you see that it works, extend it for another 60 days so that you have the 90 days cycle to finish it. Just one of the recommended actions. So if you're loving this so far, I'm a business coach specializing in helping service providers, consultants, coaches, freelancers to find and focus on their money-making priorities. That's what my one-on-one coaching is called. I will help you cut through busy work, identify the activities that actually bring in revenue, and create a customized, personalized implementation plan. We execute together, and it's my favorite thing, honestly, just the honor of my life that I get to work with experts, people that are really specialized in their skills, but oftentimes they're just struggling with the marketing side of things, and marketing and sales helps you to stay in business. I really am just so grateful that I get to do this for work. And when you work with me, you will walk away with at least 5 new high-ticket clients in 12 weeks, and also walk away with a repeatable sales process. On average, my clients make at least 8,900 in that 12 weeks together. We practice just-in-time learning. You build, you sell, you will learn from what you've done, the results you've had, and then you iterate on that, which is really the best way to learn, rather than just absorbing all the information in the world through courses and programs. So if this sounds like something that you want, you can book a sales call with me at fopsy.ca/call. We'll spend an hour together looking at your business, what you've done so far. We'll also document your success recipe, what is working for you, because many of us are not spending enough time thinking about what is working for us. We're looking at the next shiny thing. And during that time, we'll also create a plan for the next 12 weeks on exactly what we're going to do, how we're going to get you clients. And it's a free consultation as well. So book a sales call with me at fopsy.ca/call, and I cannot wait to chat with you. If you're not ready for that, but you still want to stay connected with me, you can sign up to my weekly series, Profitable Priorities. Head over to fopsy.ca/newsletter. Fopsy is spelled FOPSY.ca. So it's same website for booking a call and same website for signing up to my weekly series. And if you want to hear more of my voice, I have a podcast called Money Making Priorities. It is available wherever you do podcasts. And if you go to my website, you will find whatever I'm up to right now. It's been a great joy chatting with you today. Please don't just learn and don't do anything. Pick one of the things I've said and go implement it. It's been a great joy chatting with you. My name is Fokwaya Nkocha, aka Fopsy, and looking forward to seeing you on a sales call with me to learn about one-on-one coaching. All right, bye.